guys, so it's your girl Story Toy. I have taken the time out of my day to hide somewhere so that I can tell you this story that I promised you guys I would give to you every Tuesday and Friday. And it is such a emotional story. I'm really like letting y'all all up in my business. So the least you can do is take a few seconds of your time to number one, subscribe. If you are not subscribed, I'm cool, you're cool, you will fit up in here. Second of all, like this video. I know you have not watched this video, but trust me, like I'm gonna need you to rely on me. You will like this video. Third of all, I'm going to need you to leave me a comment. This is the only way I know who my true supporters are. And definitely so I can support you back. Support goes two ways. And we're the new YouTube community. So we got to help one another. So let's get into this video. So this is a very like touching story for me. But it's probably like at most my favorite story. You have to excuse the lighting. It's either it's too dark or it's too light. I mean, I can't find the balance here, you guys. But anyway, so I've had 2 miscarriages. So this story is about my miracle baby, which is my 2-year-old. For those of you who are new, I have a 9-year-old. Well, she just turned 10. So I have a 10-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. And so, I mean, of course, we all love all of our children. We don't have favorites or anything like that, but my 2-year-old is my miracle baby. The reason being because after I had my first child, I had a rough pregnancy with my first child, but not an undoable pregnancy. But then after that, I miscarried 2 children after that. The last miscarriage I had, the baby was pretty much full term, so it was very hard to handle. I mean, the baby had all his fingers, all his, eyes. Everything was developed. The issue was it came to a point in time my body was just rejecting the baby. I do have lupus, so that's a part of my struggle. Not to mention my body cannot hold a child past a certain period of weight because I have an irregular cervix as well. It's very short, it's very thin, and it's very weak. So I have multiple health issues going on. So having children, any doctor I've been to has always told me that it's going to be a task because I was told honestly that I couldn't have kids. So I did have my first baby, as I explained, but then after the 2 miscarriages, I told myself I did not want to be pregnant again. I was on birth control, but I was on the Lorenas. And I heard that there was a recall for it, so I had stopped taking it. I am anti-medicine, so I never really wanted to be on birth control in the first place. But I really didn't want kids. So literally, you guys, I stopped taking it, and I started having these symptoms, and like my chest area was very sensitive, and like I was just like really grumpy and just didn't want to be bothered, very irritable. And my eating habits were like foods that I usually loved, they just didn't taste the same. And I mean, I'm not new to this. Like I said, I've had a child before and I've also had 2 miscarriages. So I was like, let me take a pregnancy test. Took one, it came back negative. But I wasn't convinced. I took another one about a week later and it came back positive. So I was not happy, to be honest. I was more scared. And the first doctor I went to from the get-go, she was straightforward with me. She said, this might be a miscarriage. Looking at your past history, she said, we're going to do everything we can. But right now, the odds are not in your favor. So I went to work and I tried my best to take it light. At this point, I was probably about 3 months pregnant. And I told myself, I said, I'm not getting attached to this baby. I can't go through this again. I'm not getting myself too attached. So I was still working and doing like normal activity, moderate, I want to say. And then out of nowhere, I felt a heaviness. I went to the bathroom while at work. At this time, I was a barista, you guys. A barista is someone who makes coffee. So I was on my feet a majority of the time. I didn't become a manager until later. But so I went to the bathroom when I could get a break, and there was blood like literally coming out of my pants. I'm surprised, like the person I worked with did not even mention it. She must have not been paying attention, but it was literally like dripping. So I rushed to my manager's office. My manager called 911. I got pulled out on a stretcher, got to a hospital, a random hospital that knew nothing about me, and they took a blood test and they said your hormone level is extremely low for 3 months. They said it seems as if you are experiencing a miscarriage, basically a prolonged miscarriage. I remember telling myself when I got home, I said, that's it. I'm not getting attached to this baby. Like, honestly, if it's going to happen, I want it to happen now before I catch feelings. And I believe, and I know there's many people that watch my channel who are not religious people, but this is me, and I can only stay true to me. This is me, y'all. I truly believe it was God who put a thought in my head. So I felt a flutter in my belly when I was laying there, and I said to myself, I need some guidance, because this baby is already alive right now, so I can't help those feelings I'm getting. Like when I felt that flutter, I felt that mothering feeling, and I was like, I can't help that. So I need some guidance here. So I started reading the scriptures about Peter and how he had to walk on the water to get to Jesus, and how he started to drown at a point in time. But it wasn't that he started to drown because of him walking on water. It was because of his lack of faith. So sometimes you have to view something with faith and not by sight. Even though you may see all the bad outcomes, you have to look beyond that and just trust in God. And he never puts on us more than what we can handle. Once I read that scripture to myself again and again and again, I said, look, this is in your hands, Jehovah, and I am going to do everything in my willpower to make sure this baby survives. So I started doing my research, because, I mean, although we trust in God, we have to do our part too. So I started doing research. I started eating foods that thicken the cervix. I completely got off work. I just wanted to be on bed rest, and it was not my doctor's choice. It was my choice. And I know I went through a rough moment with no money, but it was all worth it. So, I mean, I stayed in and out of emergency rooms, in and out of hospitals. I walked around the last 2 months of my pregnancy. I walked around with my cervix at, I think it was like at 7 centimeters dilated. It was crazy. Like, like literally your cervix is supposed to, like, you're supposed to be in labor after like 3 centimeters. I walked around for the longest time in this pain. I mean, this was a hard pregnancy, you guys. But then on April the 19th, 2016, she came. She came, you guys. And I remember being so nervous because they warned me, because I still had her premature, but not super premature. So they warned me. They said, we don't know how healthy she'll be. And they took real good care of me. I had the awesomest nurse in the world. She was more like a friend than a nurse. I did not know this woman, but she gave me foot massages. She rubbed my back. I mean, she talked me through this. And this is to get you. I had a natural birth, you guys. No drugs. Not because I was forced to by choice. That's how I wanted to do this. And this was the awesomest experience of my life. I mean, my first daughter was beautiful, but this was like, I couldn't help but to cry. Like I went through this emotional stage where, like, I think it's nothing like when you really struggle to have a child, and then you look at them eyes and they put that baby on top of you. And they look up at you the best they can, because their eyes are kind of like trying to see things, and they're so confused, but they know that's mama. And I was like, yes, baby. I was like, I worked for you. We did this. Like, you was strong and I was strong, and we did this. Like, I'm literally about to get teary-eyed right now. And so that's why she's my miracle baby. Like, I love her so much, and we have the best bond and the best connection. I really do with both of my children. But her, I look at her and I say, dang, like, doctors told me you were not going to be here. And yet I'm looking at you. Moral of the story, you guys, is walk by faith, not by sight. All things are possible in God's eyes. Look, I flat ironed my hair. I really did. I did it myself. It's cute. It's cute, but I still want color. But we're going to work on that because I don't want to color myself. I would prefer to go somewhere and get that done, but got to get this first. So, all right, ladies, gents, whoever, stay sharp.